This is the Viking Light Axe by Sharp Blades. The version that you see on their website does not have the back spike, but if you like, you can get a version with the spike. It's just a custom option. And it does not come with the rawhide wrap. That's a modification that I did myself. Because, sometimes when chopping wood, especially with a relatively short edge, you might miss and hit the handle instead. So this is just kind of axe armor, if you will, just to make sure I don't mess it up. And some people like to put paracord wrap on there. You can do whatever you like, or you can just leave it as is if you trust your accuracy. So this axe head here is hand forged of a 14260 spring steel, and it's mounted to an ash wood handle. It's inspired by Viking axes. They're pretty similar. And nice and small head. Makes it pretty light overall. So this would definitely be suitable as a weapon in the hand of a Viking warrior back then. But you can also chop wood with it. It's thick enough for that. As you can see, it's relatively thick, so that gives it enough mass to be effective for chopping despite the small axe head. And you can see there's a steel wedge driven in there to expand the wood for mounting, and it's very securely attached. I've done various tests with this, throwing and pretty hard chopping, and I can definitely tell it is a very solid construction. The head is definitely not coming loose anytime soon. The handle is very sturdy. I mean, ash is a great material for it. That's also what they would have used historically, and it can definitely take quite a beating. I did a few botched throws as well. I'm not particularly good at axe throwing yet. And there's always some potential for damage, but it took it in a stride, no problem. And the throwing was also before I put the rawhide on there, so it didn't get any damage from that, even without the reinforcement. There was one particular throw that went very bad, where the axe head hit a rock. I could hear that, and so it did get a bit of edge damage there. But that's really to be expected. You can't expect an axe head, or any blade for that matter, to hit a rock and not be chipped or otherwise damaged. I also used it in a shield destruction, which worked very well. It definitely packs quite a punch. The spike was very effective against the shield, as you might imagine. Very nice axe. I definitely enjoyed handling it, particularly because the handle is very comfortable. Let me just focus on that sucker here. So you can see that's a good shape, mostly oval and nicely rounded. So feels really good in the hand, and at the same time you can really tell where the edge is. There's a close-up of the head. And in my opinion, this is rustic finish done right. It has kind of an aged, antique look to it, but it's overall pretty smooth. So you don't have, deep file marks or anything. The lines are pretty nice. There's nothing off. Spike is quite nicely shaped. That definitely has some character to it, without looking crude in any way. You can definitely tell that it's well made. The edge that it comes with is alright. I'm sure most people would accept that as axe sharp, so to speak. Personally, I prefer an axe blade that tapers a little more with a finer edge. Just to show you in comparison here. Hopefully you can see that. This one here is a little finer and has less of a bevel. So this one here definitely cuts better. It just bites into the material a little more. This one here would be improved if it just tapered slightly more and was a little thinner towards the edge. They're definitely not kidding when calling this a light Viking axe. It certainly is lightweight, but it definitely has enough mass to be effective. And as far as the use is concerned, this fits pretty well in with quite a lot of Viking axes from the time, because it's pretty much a tool weapon hybrid. It would be useful for either. In case of the spike, this is an indication that it would be more of a fighting tool. Well, fighting tool, there we go. It can be either a weapon or a tool. And of course a weapon is a tool in some ways. But before I ramble too much about this, yeah, it works for either. Not that I tried it as a fighting weapon, but you know what I mean. It could work if it had to. So as you can probably tell, I'm pretty happy with this axe. Really, the only thing that I would like to see improved is a somewhat finer tapering towards the edge. But that's pretty much it. It was sent to me for review, but I would have probably bought it too. As far as the price is concerned, $125. It's not cheap, but it's hand forged. So handmade items, of course, always have their price. And I can see it. You do get solid quality for it, no doubt. And, well, that's about all I have for now. So, thanks for watching. Hope you found this helpful.